This is Economy Watch, what you need to know about New Zealand's economic life today. Brought to you by interest.co.nz.
Kia ora and welcome to Tuesday's Economy Watch, where we follow the economic events and trends that affect Aotearoa. I'm David Chaston and this is the international edition from interest.co.nz, and today we lead with news that global expansion seems to be getting more uneven. In the US, the good economic data keeps on coming. They reported a healthy PMI expansion in September, driven primarily by their service sector, which is now expanding its fastest since March 2022. And the Chicago Fed's National Activity Index surprised with an unexpected gain in August. And because there is now less than a week until the end of the third quarter of 2022, the estimates now see an expanding economy rising at a 2 to 3% rate real and keeping up the pace of expansion that shows no sign of slacking. On a real inflation-adjusted basis, the Trump economy grew 2.8% in its four-year term. On the same real basis, the Biden economy has grown just on 10% during his 3.5 years so far. So it may seem a bit odd that the heads of the regional Fed banks of Chicago, Minneapolis and Atlanta all said at a conference yesterday they recommend more rate cuts. India's economy is still expanding fast in September according to the same PMI survey results. However, the pace isn't quite as fast as they had in August. And Singapore said its August inflation rate fell to 2.2% from 2.4% in the prior 2 months, matching market forecasts and notching its lowest level since April 2021, as food prices stayed at their lowest in over 2 years. China's September PMIs aren't released until next week, but they may not be great. China's car dealers are pleading for government help as demand softens fast there. So in China yesterday, their central bank unexpectedly lowered the 14-day reverse repo rate by 10 basis points to 1.85%. They also injected 175 billion yuan in liquidity into the banking system. And they pumped in up to another 160 billion yuan in 7-day reverse repos, but kept that rate unchanged at 1.7%. And in another unusual step, their central bank said its boss will give a unique briefing later today on financial support for economic development. Also not great were EU PMIs. Their service sector is still expanding, but not as fast, and service activity is now at a 7-month low. Their factory sector is actually contracting and at a 9-month low. Leading them down is Germany. The flash Australian manufacturing PMI fell further into contraction in September, an 8th consecutive month of contraction in manufacturing activity, and the fastest drop since May 2020. New orders and production also fell at their quickest pace in 52 months amid softening demand conditions. Their service sector expansion has almost evaporated, according to the same survey. And staying in Australia, their competition regulator is taking on the two dominant and giant supermarket chains, Coles and Woolworths, alleging that prices dropped and down claims and the like are actually misleading. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now just on 3.75% and up 2 basis points from yesterday. And the price of gold will start today at $2,628 an ounce and up $7 from yesterday to a new all-time high again. And oil prices have dipped 50 US cents to $70.50 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is now just under $74 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar starts today at 62.8 US cents and up 40 basis points from this time yesterday and near its highest of the year. Against the Aussie, we're unchanged at 91.6 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're up 0.5 cent to 56.4 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at 70.2 and up 30 basis points from yesterday. And the Bitcoin price starts today at $63,245 and 0.3% higher from this time yesterday. Volatility over the past 24 hours has been modest, at just on plus or minus 1.8%. You can find links to the articles mentioned today in our show notes, and you can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.